The Gemara Maseches Yuma talks about the beauty of the Mahn, what was so special about this miracle that took place, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that God sent us this food in the Midbar. Part of the miracle that's described by the Gemara is that the food, that the Mahn would taste like anything you could imagine. An unbelievable kindness, a special nace that occurred, whatever food you wanted, that is how the Mahn tasted. The Chofetz Chaim, though, asks an interesting question. What would happen if you were not thinking about any particular food? I didn't have kavanah, I didn't have intent for any specific food. What did it taste like? What was the default setting on the Mahn? What was the default flavor for the Mahn? Chofetz Chaim answered that it did not taste like anything. It had no flavor, it had no taste at all. If you did not connect to the Mahn by thinking about what you wanted, it's your fault, and it's a lost opportunity. There's a Rav in Eretz Yisrael who had for many years a very unique learning seder. He had the zechus of walking with Chaim Kanievsky Zatzal from his home to the shtibel every Shabbos. And on the way to the shtibel, the Letterman shtibel, which was right near Rav Chaim's house, he would prepare different questions and ask them, and then put them into a sefer called Derech Sicha, the conversations that took place as they were walking. And he presented this idea of the Chofetz Chaim to Rav Chaim, and he was bothered by a pasuk in our parsha because the Torah tells us that the Mahn was kitzapichis bidvash, that the Mahn was like sweet honey. If, as the Gemara said, it tasted like whatever you are thinking about, so what is the pasuk describing when it says that it tasted like honey? It would seem that the simplest pshat is that's the default. If you weren't thinking about anything else, then it tastes like honey. If you were thinking about something, then it tastes like the food that you had in mind. But if that's the case, what's the Chofetz Chaim talking about? The Chofetz Chaim said that you wouldn't taste like anything at all. That was the question that he posed to Rav Chaim Kanievsky. Rav Chaim Kanievsky responded on the spot that maybe what the Chofetz Chaim meant was that in contrast to the rich flavors that would come if you would imagine a certain food, if all you tasted was the weak honey taste, it was as if you tasted nothing. It's an interesting possibility. It doesn't seem to fit exactly what the Chofetz Chaim said, but maybe we can explain how he understood what the Chofetz Chaim said. Meaning perhaps what Rav Chaim understood is a very fundamental concept. So the pasuk tells us that the default was honey. If you don't have a specific taste, it's going to taste like honey. But a taste that is inherent versus a taste that you can connect to are two very different experiences. And if you don't at least pay attention to what you're eating, even if the flavor is there, you're not really going to taste it. That's what Rav Chaim understood in what the Chofetz Chaim said. That if you have something, even if it has a strong flavor, if you don't connect to it, if you're not paying attention, you could even miss things that are plainly in front of you. If you want to experience the nace of the Mahn, you have to focus, you have to concentrate. There's so many distractions in our lives. We can hear things going on, but we're not paying attention, and it's as if we missed it, as if we didn't hear it at all, and we missed the opportunity entirely. We need to find times to think and be proactive in thinking about what it is that we are experiencing, making sure that we don't get caught up in whatever's going on in our phones and the dings and the buzzes and everything else that's happening, and instead we focus on whatever it is that is in front of us. Because if we don't focus, even if we hear it, even if we understand it, even if we're having a conversation with somebody, we don't pay attention, the conversation is like nothing. It could be ketzapichis bidvash, it could be as sweet as honey, but if you don't connect to it, it's as if it's not there. It's a very, very important yesod. What Chofetz Chaim is teaching us is if you don't think, you're not going to taste. We have to, in our lives, make sure that we take the opportunities to think, to grow, to connect to all the different experiences that we have, and ultimately, and hopefully most of all, connect to Hashem.